Alright, welcome back. So, where are we? I have got I've got these on. However, something doesn't look right to me. Because when I look this way on it, they don't seem to line up. So this one here, the far one looks absolutely fine. That one done absolutely fine. This one gave me awful trouble, as you can see. So, there's something I don't like about it. I may end up loosening it off and loosen the bar here just to make sure it wasn't the bar, because one looks like it's angled at like 45, the one looks more like a, I don't know, 50 or 60 degree. So I don't like that. I don't trust that it's going to be too flat and pushed against the window. So I'll have to come back to that one. Although you're going to see in the video me absolutely struggling with it. I got the vent on. I'll come back and clean that up. I just wanted to get it on just so it's there, because again, parts are going for walks here. New bushing is for the steering column. I had a new strap, a new air strap that goes from one side to the other, and of course I can't find it now. Again, I take something out, I move it, and I lose it. Okay. Oh, headlights. So as you will see, I put the headlights on. I put two new flat ones. Again, sometimes not the easiest, depending who you get them from, not the easiest. I put the wiring on for the new starter motor, and one of them wires are red wire hanging. So, something about these. These are relatively new to me as well. But if you're wiring them up, the simplest way to do is that if you have one wire, because you'll get this connector with it. You get that connector there with it, when the focus is in. So when you have one black wire and one red wire, you wonder why. Oh, look, something's on the floor. Your normal strap, your power strap, will come down, and there's like usually a brass screw in there, and that connects to that. You then get that block connector that connects in, and you have two wires, one black and one red. If you have one wire, as you can see here, one wire connects to it. So this one would have gone around the this wire here is, as far as I know, for the radio, because it's the white with the red stripe. This one would have gone around the top and connected on the original one, would have gone over to the far side and connecting over there. Some of them give you two wires. If there's two wires, then yes, you run the second one to the red. And what that one is that one has, oh god, what's the name? I can't think of it now. It's basically a one-way electrical valve. Oh, the name's not coming to me now. Anyway, so that means that if you send an electric current through, it will go in one but not through the other. So that's only one way. So you can't send the same current in and out the opposite way. It can only go one direction. But most of them only run the one cable, so that can just be left free. That's just, I'll just tie that off to the other one, and I'll zip tie. Some of the water return pipes are on. Yeah, the ground strap is there. So what I'm doing now is I've cleaned the exhaust manifold. I have it sprayed. I have it waiting to go on. But before I do, I want to get all the throttle on. I want to make sure the treads are clean, because like I said, this exhaust pipe is coming off. So I'm waiting for a whole new stainless steel one to go in. It's gonna look great. Actually, it's not a sports one. It's not the original one. I'll say it's not the sports one. It's not the Mega Flow sort of one or whatever it is. The one with the quad tips. It's just a twin, but it's going to be it's sweet, clean, stainless steel. It's going to look absolutely beautiful in this car. That's it. I'm waiting for the new pipe here, because I'm putting the stainless steel one here. And when I put the thermostat in, I want to cut it. Now normally I don't cut the pipe, and you'll see as I later on in the video what I get at. It's because I put a thermostat down there for the electric fan, and it goes all the way down the bottom. The problem is though, the length of the whole straight pieces is this. So when I cut it to this length, it makes it a lot harder to try spread and put over the piping. So I may end up this time, for once, taking a little shaving off that pipe that goes down that bends, and taking a bit off it just to give myself a longer little stretch. I'll look at that, or else I may look at putting it up here. But I like to put it at the very bottom, where I know there's always coolant. Even if it's running low, it's always at the bottom. So that's my go-to. So to be honest, as much as I think about putting it up here, I'm going to leave it at the bottom. That's it so far, what I've done. Like I said, you're going to see some, again, high speed of what I've achieved, or what I have. On the inside, actually, not much movement, other than I was putting the rubber down, and I was using double-sided tape, but to be honest, that wasn't helping either. I still wanted to come up, and I was putting little pinholes in it, so I was marking where it is. Another trick to do it is to chalk it. So just see where the holes are, and you can just mark with a little marker or a pen where the holes are. So when you actually go to put it on, you'll know where to drill through. And I'm saying drill through is, here's the cover that's going to go on it. As you can see, there's absolutely no holes in it. No holes to hold it down, and there's no holes along the front here either. So what I'm going to have to do with this one is I'm going to place it in the car. And I'm going to mark where these holes are here to the side. And I'm also going to mark, because it has to go up here. So what I'm going to do is, before I sit it on that one, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to get, if I have to get a bit of tape, because it's pretty dark in there, and I'll tape where it's going to go. So when I put it in, I'll get some like white Tipp-Ex, and I'll actually mark the cover where it lines up with these, and where it lines up with the bottom holes. And then that will allow me to actually drill the holes and have them pre-done, so it sits in nice and tight. So yeah, you see I was putting the rubber down, and it says the double-sided tape didn't exactly stick great, but once you bolt it down, it's going to be sealed in. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, that's really it. So I'm going to get the cover ready. That's quite a noise out of that one. I'm going to put the cover on that, so when I get these done, I can then put the transmission cover on. I'm not worried about it. Actually, sorry, I lie. I have to do the wiring. Obviously, other than wiring the gearbox, I have to wire the overdrive. So I'm waiting for that to come through and come all the way up. Because what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to get the cover, and I'm going to bore a hole pretty much over this side, somewhere in here, and I'm going to put a grommet, and that will allow the wires to come down and hide and just slip through, because the original has that as well. I don't think I have any. Actually, do you know what? I might have an original still at the back, a used one, and I can actually use that as the guide holes. But to be honest, I'm just going to do it my way here, so I know they actually line up, just in case the holes on the other one don't line up, because that would never happen. Yeah, once I get that done, then I can still move on. I'm still waiting to do the steering rack, but I don't know why I'm hesitant to get stuck into it now while it's there. I think only because I want to get some other stuff done first. I want to do the exhaust on and everything before I worry about the steering rack. Because I'm gonna raise that. Yeah, that's it. That's it, plugging away. So I'm gonna keep going. But for now, I'm gonna throw in some fast forward of what I have done, and maybe what I'm going to do. So when I join me next time, we'll be a lot further on. So thanks for watching, and again, enjoy the high speed. Oh, sorry, and usual, any comments, questions, concerns, or anything you see at high speed and you have a question on, give me a shout, let me know. If I get time, or if I can, I'll do it in relatively regular speed. However, so I'm trying to plug this through so I can get it back out to Doug, and because obviously with the mid-spring, or it's just this stage, I want to get on the road. So, all right, again, enjoy the high speed. All right, welcome back. So, a little issue here. So, as I plug it on, we have the steering rack down here in the steering column that comes up. So it comes from the knuckle and comes all the way up, and then it joins onto this basically big giant rubber knuckle. The strap here is a ground strap to bring the ground from the bottom up, which continues onto your steering wheel. However, what I have discovered is, I only noticed this when I put it down, is that here, as you can see, there's a big wear mark on the body. I'm trying to hold the phone at the same time. So just in there. And what that is a big indentation of the steering column as it's sitting on the body, rubbing and going around, which is not right. It's not meant to do that. And I noticed, and it's sitting down wrong because it's not lining up. So this is meant to line up here. I should be able to join this on pretty handy. And this should be relatively in the middle. But even all the way up to the top, it's not lining up because it's too much. So this piece is coming out and then this piece is going down too steep. The only way to get them to line up is to push this further down. So the issue is not the steering column. What it looks like is that the shop who done the frame put the steering rack on wrong. When I say on wrong, now I want to say most likely you put it on and never angled it up a bit. Oh, your hands on the way, sorry. Has to be angled up, so I'm going to have to angle it up. So in order to do that, I have to go back to the clamps. So I'm going to loosen them clamps. I'm going to have to go into the tie rod ends and pop off the tie rod ends, or at least loosen them. Either or. So if I loosen them to allow as if I was adjusting the steering, like the tie rod, the tracking, I'll do that. And that will allow me to actually then to take the rack. And what I'm going to do is, right now I think it's sitting this way. I'm going to pivot it upwards. So I'm going to bring it upwards, and then the knuckle will have a bit more work to do, but that will straighten up and have it coming straight in at an angle and giving yourself your clearance. So there should be a bit of clearance of roughly about anywhere between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch maybe, clearance between the steering column and that body. As you can see, it's been sitting on it for some time. So the body shop who done the frame and put the body back on, that I have in an earlier video where you can see the rack was actually, you shimmed it on wrong, so I had to fix that. Now it seems he's putting the whole thing at too much of a pitch. So when he put the body on and started putting the steering column back on, he probably realised this but just left it. So some bad work there. So I guess I have to go fix it. So roll on high speed while I go fix the steering rack. Welcome back. Alright, so where have you gotten to? So for once I actually didn't record all the bits and pieces I'd done. I managed to go through and I actually didn't record it. Only because I was running out of memory on the phone, so I didn't bother doing it. Let me get you up to speed on what we've done. So far what I've done, I have put I put the top rad holes in. Not that was much of an achievement. I put the steering rack and the steering column in, steering column and the steering rack. So I noticed, as I said, the way it was rubbing. So I don't know if you can see, but there's actual clearance now. So there's just, hang on, let me flip it up this way. There you go. You can see the way there's clearance now. That's the way it should be. So what I done was I loosened off the steering rack and I just rocked it a bit and then tightened it back up again. So I'll put a bit more play on the knuckle down here, but that's fine because the steering rack itself, as it goes across, where the bushings go, it's not exactly dead straight. It's actually curved a little bit at either end, so it gives you a bit of play. So I was able to just rock it a bit and tighten it down, so you have a bit of play on it depending on like what you're using for or where it's going. So next thing I want to do is I put a new bushing on here. This is a new bushing, and I'm not going to lie, they're terrible. So they're bigger in size than the original. So the only thing I could do is that instead of just being able to bolt one to the other, which you think it would have been straightforward, I didn't. I had to actually take the steering column out and actually bolt it together as one, then put it all back in again. And the only reason I was able to bolt it together was I had to put it in a vise and simply compress it. Because the holes, if I was to, like the wheels, if you were to do the studs, where they are, I can't get the words now. The spacing of the studs. The spacing of these is wider than the original one. So like I said, I had to squish it in, and like I said, I'm not happy that one side of it is a little crooked. It's just a little warped. But again, I'm hoping because it's all bolted together and it's as one, it should hold together. If it doesn't, well then it's a cheap, crappy part that probably everybody sells. So my best is keep the original if that's the case. We'll find out in due time. So I cleaned up the old steering column, replaced a few parts because when you painted it, this got covered in paint and blue paint, so I cleaned it all off. I have put the wiring in for the overdrive. So I fed it all the way through. This is for an A-type overdrive, so I'm going to mount another relay. I don't know whether... Usually you find them... I haven't even put all this in yet. Oh, look. I find all the bolts I was meant to use. Sometimes you find it here, facing outwards. Some put like an extra on the wall. You can put it anywhere. I've even seen people who have put it on the passenger side firewall down the bottom and not ran the wire all the way up. Just ran it from the switch and ran it back because it was easier than pushing it through. It's totally up to you where you want to put it. Most likely I will mount it probably right here. Just 2 screws in facing outwards, just so all the relays are together. What else have I done? Actually, look, I'll show you something funny. I got a new curtain. So it's a dismal day out. It's bucket and rain. But I got a new net for my garage doors. So a little off track, but now I can leave the doors open without all the mosquitoes and everything coming in and chewing the life out of me. It's my nice white, juicy, edible mosquito skin. So I still have to connect the steering rack because the wheels are actually, sorry, my fingers are in the way. The wheels are actually pointed outwards. I had to take the tie rod ends off in order for me to allow the twist the steering rack. I don't think I've done anything over here other than I put the hood release cable in. I said, like, everything's starting to look nice in here because it's nice and shiny. Yes, it's getting a little dusty and a little bit of wear from me leaning over, but that's why I put the clean film on it. Nothing that another polish would do, but it's starting to really take shape in here. I had hoped to put the rest of the bits and pieces together to actually get it maybe turned over and started, but I'm taking the exhaust out because I said the whole new exhaust is in, and like I'm debating whether I want to run it at that noise level or put the carburetors on and stop me from getting the exhaust on, because the exhaust is going to probably take another couple of weeks to get here. So we'll bear that in mind. For now, I may just leave it like that. We'll see. Anyway, coming around, what else have I achieved? Oops, sorry, fingers in the camera. So there's the wiring for the overdrive. Now, that looks awful sloppy and messy. Yes, I know it does. Well, apart from this, take these aside. Right, take them aside. That looks a little messy. And the reason why is that this harness here is for the reverse. So it has, as you can see, I have 2 wires left over that I cannot connect. Hang on, there's a train going by again. Not finished yet. There we go. So the wiring harness for the overdrive comes down and it goes straight to the solenoid. And the other one then goes around and connects to your basically your first, second, third, and fourth. It goes to them, so the like yellow one side and then the ground to the side, and then that grounds to that. This wire here, however, because that's a little issue, is this wire here is off a late model. So with the late models, what you'd normally do is you'd bring it down and you'd connect 2 wires to the reverse, which would be this one, and the other 2 would go to like 2 or would go to, I think it's 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. I'm not sure. Can't remember which one it is, but it'll go to one of them. So you'd have reverse, and what it does is it runs the seatbelt. It goes to the seatbelt module. However, because I only have 3 sensors and I need 4, then the only thing I could do is either one is I'd have to get another one and bore in another port somewhere on the far side and then run the wires in there, or else unfortunately you miss the seatbelts. Now that I'm not concerned about, lucky enough, because we're putting new seatbelts in and there's no wiring, there's no sensors or anything, so it's a little irrelevant. However, if you have the original with the sensors, that's what your green and brown would run, and that's how you end up with, well, apart from these being painted, that's how it would end up with these. Sorry, that's, yeah, it's a seat belts. Should be this one. It's hard to tell. Anyway, so that's the way it is with that, and the only reason why this all looks all messy is that the first one is a double green, and then it goes onwards into the green. So the 2 I need are the green and the green brown. However, the green and light green are, the green and the green brown are the ones I need, because that's what does the reverse lights. The other 2, the green with the light green tracer, they'd go the opposite. So the only reason why I have it stuck in here is because these 2 at the very end, which is green and green brown, what I need, if I don't have it connected here, then the power won't actually go anywhere. So I want to make sure I don't lose the power. Theoretically it should, but it's not connected to anything. So I just done this. Sort of make sure it works, because I want to run off the first one, not the last one, and then it sort of lets me push in a bit. So it looks a little messy, but it's not actually that bad. What does look messy is all the rest of the wires hanging down here. Well, the good thing is though, like I said, the steering column and steering rack is in. This is a new one, and I'll tell you what, I didn't get this. I can't guarantee where it came from. However, I'm not going to lie, it's cheap sugar. Like, I literally went to fasten it on and I hadn't even fastened it tight, and I ripped the whole bolt out. So I'm not sure which supplier it was. I can't guarantee it, I don't want to say, but yeah, it's terrible. Maybe everybody has the same cover and the same terrible cheapness in it, but just be mindful if you replace this, be very gentle at the back. I was trying to be, and it's still ripped out, but I managed to find a way of securing it back in again. A little innovation. Other than that, the steering rack is in. Oh, so the steering column. So everything's all lined up. I did find it a little hard to get this in. For some reason, it wasn't lined up as well as it should have done. And I think it's because when I put the steering lock on, the actual ignition barrel, when I put it into the little hole for allow the steering lock, I think I moved it a little bit too forward. So that fraction gave me a bit of, that switches away, gave me a bit of tension here. I'm not using normal nuts, I'm using just general ones, to be honest, just so in case if I do need to take it off. And for the reference, yes, it's 1 up, and on the other side is 1 down. So same as your engine mounts, one direction, one the other direction, so you're getting the pull from both ends. Another thing that people seem to forget to put in, and it wasn't on this car, is this little bracket here. I don't know if you're going to see it because it's pretty dark. There it is, this one here. I'm not sure why that is there. So many people don't have it. The only time I've ever seen them is the ones when I put them on, but not many people have them, and I don't know why. Because, well, I suppose that's not going anywhere. But I don't know what the bracket, other than that, the purpose of that is. There's nothing else that connects to it. Like, this has 2 holes, as if it was, so presumably if it was a right-hand drive, it would come this side and go that direction. But I just don't know what purpose it serves. Like, does it ground out the steering rack? I don't know. Like, it's not like it's not supported through this whole bracket here and the one at the back. That's what actually holds it still, so I don't know. A bit of a mystery on that one. I must look it up in the manual to see what purpose it actually serves. So we'll see. Anyway, yeah, one of the doors is done. So all the stuff. Oh, that reminds me, I have to go get some shear clips for that. But all that door glass, everything is all good. We'll have to move the door bit because it doesn't line up perfectly with the window. I made a little boo boo because I put the window capping on, and silly me forgot to put the hardware underneath. So you have to take the rivets off and redo that. But yeah, nice shiny chrome. Can't beat it. Although I wouldn't call it chrome, it's more I don't know, everyone's stuck with this cheap aftermarket, I don't know, stainless, that's what I'd call it, if anything. But still, looks nice. And again, it's starting to look very nice here in the dash, the way it's all starting to blend in the corners. Like I know Doug went with the leather, and yeah, it's starting to pay off now. It's starting to take real nice shape there, apart from, sorry for me getting it all a little dusty and dirty here. But when that's all cleaned off and the glass is in, yeah, it's going to look nice. I'm waiting for the rivets to come in for the door, so I'm going to put rivets back in instead of the nuts and bolts. And that's really it for now. Haven't gotten too much more on it. A little delay because I'm waiting for the parts to come in. Some of the parts came in, some didn't. I'm waiting for a new window regulator because that one is shot. And how it's shot is the gearing. So what I found is when I put it on, I'll actually, do you know what I'll do? I'll add on the video where you can see it moving. And the reason why it's moving is because the gear on it at the bottom has loosened up so much. There's so much play on it. So the actual regulators of the teeth in it, it's allowed to move so far before it actually binds whether you go left or right. So I found that when I wound it all the way up, when I went to wind it down, it'll drop about a whole inch before it gripped and started to pull. So yeah, I tried swapping it with another one. The one I had was no good, and I found another one I had here, used one, and that one would only go one direction, funny enough. So yeah, I'm just waiting for a new one to come in. Other than that, like I said, just waiting for some more parts. I have the piping for here, but for some reason I'm missing the hose because we ordered a lot, and for some reason I managed to skip that one. Don't know why, how, but I managed to do it. New sensors come in, even though I have an old one there. New ones come in. Oh, heads on feel. Now, I have an interesting wire I found on this, and I want somebody to see if they can help me on this. So, here's the wire here that we use for the brake. So this is for your sensor. However, I have another wire here which is black with a blue tracer. And the only thing I can find on the wiring diagram, let me show you for a late model. I had to use both models because I'm putting, like I said, I'm putting an A-type overdrive in a late car, so trying to figure out the wiring is on the overdrive is a little thing. Anyway, the only one I can find on this one is this one here. See? Black with a blue tracer. Number 5. Left C sensor switch. So why is it out here? The only thing I can think of is, and somebody might clarify me that, some of these had 2 switches. One side. One side and one the opposite side. This one has just one in the middle, but some would take 2. I'm just wondering, because look, as you can see, it looks like it's a male prong. It looks like it goes straight down the middle there, but then this one's meant to go on, even though it's a bad wire as well. This one actually is supposed to go on the metal tabs at the side, but this one looks like it could go straight down the middle. So black with a blue tracer. So somebody might be able to help me out on that. It says for the seatbelt, but I'm just curious because I've never seen one before up here. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the wiring harness itself. Maybe there's a slight difference in it. Yeah. So maybe somebody can dig out an answer on that one. I'm not too concerned about it. Like I said, if it's no use, I'm just going to tape it up and I'll hide it in there. And that's it. So I'm not concerned about it, but I'm just curious because I've never seen it before. Well, not there. That's it. That's where I am for now. So upwards, onwards, and yeah. The headlights are in. Let me see now. I can't remember where I stopped in the last video. That's the thing. I don't know where I stopped away. So yeah, I want to get the coolant done. So we'll get the coolant and get this on. Technically, I'll put some fuel in it because everything's all connected up. I can technically put fuel in it and actually turn the car over. The plan still, and I'm hoping. Again, I can't guarantee anything, but I'm hoping to do a live feed where a live feed where more trains go by, maybe. A live feed where I'm going to put the dash on. So I'm hoping to do it. However, I would like to have the cover over here and the A-frame in, but I want to get the car started first, and all being well, the car starts and I get the wiring through, and I want to check the the solenoid on the overdrive. As far as I know, it does work. I've seen it where it was working because it did come off a driving car. Like it was on the car that was driving. So it should work. I just wanted to double check. But yeah, so once I get that done, then I can actually do the center piece, which is, I had it down, but it's hiding all the way up there. So it's one piece. So to take that back down, I can put that on. I can put the carpet over. I can put the A-frame in, and then from there, then once that's all supported and pushed up, because I'll have to loosen some stuff off. The door doesn't line up great, so before I move the door, I'm going to loosen that and shove the A-frame in, and that will probably shove the whole window. Hopefully it shoves it up a bit. I don't think it will, because it's separate, because I need a tiny bit, because I'll probably end up doing it. However, I'll loosen off just in case there is a bit of player movement in it. But it's slowly starting to look like a car. It will look much better once I cover all that wiring up and take all this crap out. Then it's going to look way better. That's it. Again, any comment? Oh my god, what's with all the trains? Jeez. There you go, look, here. There you go, look, those are the trains to deal with. The crossing is right over there. So, anyway, that's it. Yeah, I'll throw the stuff in for the bits and pieces I've done. Actually, let me just show you the video now of the door not working, just because I want to finish it off, because I don't want to end it on that. So, here's a video that I made of the window crank not working. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, it wasn't working, it was dropping too far. So in the end I ripped it out, and I'm just waiting for the new one. There's a new one on order, it's coming in, and we'll get that sorted. Yeah, I could have lived with it if it was the passenger door, I suppose. Well, it's up to the Doug who owns this. It could have been, because most likely it's less likely to be used, but being the driver's side, no, not a chance. Anyway, that's it. So again, listen, I really appreciate everybody who watches these videos. I appreciate the people who take the time to watch what I'm doing, whether it's just for watching the car being built, whether it's to maybe pick up something or learn something, or you're changing something yourself and you want to see how it's done or whatever. I really appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch any video or information I throw out there, and if it's useful to you and you've taken something out and it's helped you in any way, shape or form, that's a winner for me. That's what I take over. All I ask is that, again, any comments that you throw up, look at the positive side. I just don't like some people like, well, thank God there's very few, or next to hardly any, should I say, that look at the bad side and always throw negative stuff. Like, for example, people who say like, oh, you're wrong, or that's wrong. I hate people who say wrong, because there's not always one way of doing things, and some people don't want to do it that way, so you can't tell them they're wrong if they choose to do it their own way. So that's the little things I don't like. So like, again, whether something is not your style, whether it's not for you, whether it's an upgrade, color, modernization, back to original, like whatever it may be, everybody's entitled to their own style, their own likes, their own dislikes. Absolutely fine. I have all the time in the world for people who put any effort into restoring their vehicle in any way, shape or form. Like I said, whether it's something like this, whether it's just simply repainting it, whether it's just getting it off the road, because I haven't been on the road for 30 years and simply driving, something is always better than none. And I have all the time in the world for people who put any effort into doing their old British cars. Because especially doing it yourself, it's a challenge. It really is. And to be able to do it and achieve something and say you've done something is, I mean, pat yourself in the back if you've managed to do that. And like I said, we all need help. So I'm hoping these videos help other people achieve that as well. So yeah, so I said, keep the comments coming. Keep them good. Keep them positive, whether it's your thing or not. Just look at the bright side of everything. And that's it. And like I said, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm like 50 short, so I'm hoping people can go out there and just hit that subscribe button, because it would mean a lot to me to get to that 1,000 mark. Just to get to 1,000, I don't know. It's just the milestone like of YouTube. So to get to there, be pretty. I mean a lot to me. So yeah, that's really it. Again, any comments, questions, concerns, give me a shout. I'll try help you as best I can, or if I can't, I'll try steer you in the right direction, because nobody knows it all. We'd like to, but we don't, and we all need each other to help us, do this, because it's great and amazing to do. All right, so see you in the next part.